Shalom, shalom. First off, I want to start off by giving all the glory, infinite praise, and honor unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Achakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. Peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful elect that is out there pushing this truth in all sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, giving diligence to make your calling of election sure. Shalom. All right. This is your brother Hashah from the Great Millstone Savannah Camp, coming back in the spirit with another lesson. Lord willing, I pray and hope that it's edifying. All right. And, this lesson is going to be on, spiritual warfare. All right. And, I just was meditating on this week about how, once you really become spiritual, all right, dealing with day-to-day life is really, a different ease to it. All right. It's a different feeling. All right. Because you're able to see all the things that are out here through your spiritual lens. Okay. Through your spiritual eye. Okay. And, it can really, change your life, man. And a lot of the stuff you'll look at and you'll be like, damn, that's so, it's so spiritual, there'll be instances where you can, I'm at work. I do a little security work on the side. All right. And, you can see the spirits, all right, that alcohol, puts on people, man, or the spirit that people just have on them, and the alcohol amplifies it. All right. So there's that, when you try to tell somebody the truth, the scripture speaks about how the deaf adder stoppeth up the ears. All right. And that's also a very spiritual moment. Two of the most spiritual moments I've seen, while in this truth. And you can see something come upon a person when you're trying to give them some wisdom, some knowledge of the scriptures. You can see the deaf adder come and stop up their ears. They might get a phone call. They might start, fiddling with something. They might start, just looking around, not giving you, up until that moment, they might be giving you eye contact. But up until, as soon as that comes out, just start looking around. And, as a spiritual man, you can truly say, damn, that's, it's spiritual. Like, the Lord didn't want you to get it, and you don't get upset. You don't get angry. You understand. The wisdom, knowledge, and understanding gives you, that stability not to be, either too angry or too, happy about things. All right. Give you a balance. Okay. This is Ephesians chapter 12 and verse 6. It says, For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against rulers of darkness in this world, and against spiritual wickedness in high places. All right, let's get the word principalities. Okay. It says the rule, the magistracies, all right, angels and demons. So it says the person or thing that commences, the first person or thing in a series, the leader. Okay. And a lot of this stuff comes from the beginning, the origin. Okay. And they are angels and demons. Okay. A lot of this, the word here is
Strong's G 746. Arche.
arche. All right. In the Greek. All right. And a lot of this stuff stems from ancient Samaria, ancient Egypt. A lot of these principalities, all right, meaning deities, idols, they all carry a certain vibration, a certain spirit. Okay. And when you're out in your day to day, you have to really understand and realize, that's why a lot of people, the reason why they can't stop doing or celebrating certain holidays, eating certain food, is because they have been worshiping a principality. All right. And they have given themselves over to that principality. All right. The scripture speaks about how a demon flee, and I believe it says he came back to a clean house. Let's see if I can get that. See if I can find it. And it speaks about how 7 more inhabit Salakia. I don't know why that popped up. See if I can find it. Is it Matthew 12? Yeah. I'll get this one. This is Matthew chapter 12. I believe it's verse 45, I think. Verse 44. Yeah. This is Matthew chapter 12 and verse 43. It says, when the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. When he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out, and when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished. Then he goeth, and he taketh with himself 7 other spirits, more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. Even so shall it be also unto this wicked generation. All right. And, we're living in a time where, hey man, evil spirits are inhabiting, this generation. Okay. And once you, just realize that, it makes things a lot easier, man, that we're not wrestling against flesh and blood, man. This is a spiritual fight. Let's get that the flesh warreth against the spirit. Yeah, Galatians 5 and 16. It says, this I say then, walk in the spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. And, this is the advice that Paul was giving the Galatians, okay? He said, walk in the spirit, man. And this is something that I constantly, through the spirit and power of Yahweh Shemi Awashah, I try to remind, the camp that I'm a part of, man, to walk in the spirit, okay? Walking in the spirit will have you seeing a lot of the things that these people don't see, a lot of the spiritual warfare. All right, verse 17, it says, for the flesh lusteth against the spirit, and the spirit against the flesh, and these are contrary one to the other, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. And even Paul said that the things that he would like to do, he couldn't do, okay? It says, but ye be led of the spirit, ye are not under the law. Meaning, that, don't let the law hold you back. All right. Because you're in the flesh. You can't fulfill the law. So just be spiritual. Use spiritual discernment. And that's what Yahweh Shai came to do. He came to bring the spiritual discernment, the wisdom to the law. All right. Knowing that you're in a society where you can't stone people. All right. You can't take justice into your own hands. Knowing you're in a society where you have to follow the law of the land. You're not bound by that. Okay. Verse 19, it says, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these: adultery, fornication, uncleanliness, lasciviousness, all right, idolatry, witchcraft, hatred, variance, emulation, wrath, strife, sedition, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness, revilings, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in past times, that they which do such things shall not inherit the kingdom of Yahweh. All right. It says, but the fruit of the Spirit is love. Now, this is how you combat, those demons, those unclean spirits. Okay. It says you have to walk in the Spirit, but the fruit of the Spirit, you got to eat these things. You got to consume these things. Is love, joy, peace, long suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. You got to be temperate, patient, man. You have to be patient. This is a time where the Lord is calling on us to be very patient. It says, against such there is no law. So if you exercise these, you can never do it enough. You can never have enough of that. All right. There's no law against these things. There's laws against the things we just read. Okay. It says, and they that are Hamashiachs have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. All right. And, the scripture says, let not thy sins weigh you down from day to day. All right. There's certain things, certain lusts that you have, that maybe, maybe you lose the fight sometimes. All right. But don't lose the fight all the time. All right. Verse 25, it says, if we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vainglory, provoking one another, envying one another. Yeah. Let's walk in the Spirit. Hey, the Spirit of the Lord is the Spirit of prophecy. Let's walk in the prophecies, man. The prophecies have no room for vainglory. They have no room for provoking one another or envying one another. All right. The prophecies are non-partial. Okay. They're not respect the persons. They don't care who you are. So, these are the how you combat, that spirit. All right. That principality, to the bros that might be fighting. I believe, we talk about Legion. All right. Talk about Legion. All right. It says, Mark 5 and 6, it says, but when he saw Yahweh Shai afar off, he ran and worshipped him and cried with a loud voice and said, Salakia. Yeah. Yeah, I'm going to just start right here. Verse 6, it says, "But when he saw Yahushua afar off, he ran and worshipped him and cried with a loud voice and said, What have I to do with thee, Yahushua, thou son of man, thou son of the Most High God? I peradventure thee by Yahweh, that thou torment me not. For he said unto him, Come out of the man, thou unclean spirit. And he asked him, What is thy name? And he answered, saying, My name is Legion, for I am many." All right, and there's many unclean spirits that are inhabiting, especially this generation. All right, this generation, they're fighting, this war on all fronts. The television, the music, the politics, the schools. Everything is boasting itself against Yahweh Bahashim Yahweh Shai. Okay, and it's unclean. It says, and he besought him much that he would not send them away out of the country. Now there was there nigh unto the mountains a great herd of swine feeding, and all the devils besought him, saying, Send us into the swine, that we may not enter into them. And forthwith Yahushua gave them leave, and the unclean spirits went out and entered into the swine, and the herd ran violently down a steep place into the sea. They were about 2,000 and were choked into the sea. And they that fled the swine, and they that fed the swine fled and told it in the city and in the country, and they went out to see what it was that was done, and they come to Yahushua to see him that was possessed with the devil, and had the legion sitting clothed in his right hand. They were afraid, in his right mind, and they were afraid. So, this is just an example, all right, of how, people can be possessed, by unclean spirits. And not just one, many. He said 2,000 unclean spirits. 2,000 unclean spirits inhabited this one man, all right? So imagine, these people in Babylon that have not repented, all right? And don't forget that we're going to do the same works that Yahushua did and greater. So there's going to be instances where, this can happen to you. This is not only just a lesson, it's a story, a story that's continuing to be told. The book of the second books of Acts are going to be written, So, Lord willing, this was edifying and exhorting. All right, I'm about to head to camp, so, I'm going to cut it out. Giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders of Great Millstone. And peace, love, and salutation to the hopeful elect that is out there pushing this truth in all sincerity throughout the four corners of the earth, giving diligence to make their calling of election sure. Shalom.